Hi, my name is Elizabeth Rose, and I work at the Vanderbilt Institute for Global Health. In this video series, I discuss strategies for strategic time management in academic medicine. And in this specific video, I will be talking about focusing. So after the series of video sessions, you should be able to craft a strategic plan for managing your career in academic medicine that includes these 5 steps of developing a vision, cultivating a plan, focusing, seeking counsel, and reassessing yourself periodically. So let's move on to focusing. You are the creator of your reality. Whatever you focus on, you create. If you focus on clearing through your inbox, it will be cleared. If you focus on understanding your patient's needs, that will happen. If you focus on setting aside time for your family, that too will happen. And if you focus on how overwhelmed you feel by all of your tasks and your responsibilities, which you understandably have many of, you will create an overwhelming space. So how to untangle when everything seems urgent and important? Well, first, list your 5 to 7 primary job responsibilities. So focus there. And make sure that those align with your manager, supervisor, or organization's desires and mission, and as well as your why, your purpose for doing your work. So do first what's your job and what is important to you, and then focus on what is fun. And it's important too, as you are listing out these primary job responsibilities, thinking about what you need to focus on to effectively do your work and to live out your purpose and your why. In that, you need to be able to say no to useless positions, distractions, and engagements. Distraction is really confusion about what's important. In a previous video, I talked about how to, using a 4-quadrant matrix, figure out what's important to you and to prioritize those activities and responsibilities. So by doing that, you can figure out where those distractions are that are taking you away from what's important. Now, time management takes courage. It's hard to say no to those tempting things that are easy or fun to do, but that are outside of your focus. Remember to focus on your long-term goals and your purpose. Choose also, I talked about this in a previous video, to work in time blocks and to commit to focusing on just that one thing, to focus on one of those tasks, one of those responsibilities for that time period. And that might be a 30-minute time period, might be a 2-hour time period. Think about when you're in the operating room, or when you're in a meeting, or maybe when you're watching a football game. Things wait. You aren't often responding to lots of emails and people's requests. So during those times, if you're able to just focus on that task at hand, do the same when you are focusing on project work. Email, texts, other ideas, those things can wait. And so here are a few tips and tricks to never miss another deadline. Now, one of these might resonate with you, all 6 of them might resonate with you, a few of them might resonate for you. They might resonate with you at different times in your life. Know that these are suggestions and that there's many other great ideas out there as well to help you maintain that focus. But the first one I will focus on is to find your 20% task. So the Pareto principle states that you get about 80% of your results from 20% of your work. Wow. So start by figuring out which 20% of your tasks bring in the majority of your results. And once you figure that out, you can start to prioritize based on which task is going to give you the biggest return. Then after that, and what goes along with that might be identifying what's your most important task. What's the one thing that when you go to bed at night, you want to know that you finished that task? Start off by doing that task and prioritizing that task. Another way to prioritize is what they call the ABCD method, or the 1, 2, 3 method, in which you have your list of, and I talked about this in a previous video, brain dump your list of activities, your tasks that you feel that need to be done, and go through and mark those A, B, C, D of importance, ranking from high to low priority. and then do the ones of highest priority first to make sure they get done before you run out of time. Now you can use a task management software. There are many free ones out there. Trello and Asana are two popular ones right now, but you can also use a pen and a piece of paper. For a while I used a Word document or Excel or Microsoft OneNote where I listed my activities and then I was able to move them around and check them off as I did them. Eat the frog. Now this is perhaps one of my favorite strategies. Eating the frog was book idea that was popularized a few decades ago, and the idea remains the same and rings true, at least for me right now, is that if you had to eat a frog in the morning alive, possibly slimy, squirmy frog at the beginning of your day, and you ate it and swallowed it, likely it was probably one of the hardest things or the worst things that might happen to you during the day. And so the idea, if we apply, and then after that, everything else would seem so much easier than eating that frog. And so as we apply this to work, think about your hardest task, the one that's most daunting or perhaps the most unpleasant. If you do that one first in the day, eat that frog, get that out of the way, two things happen. One, instead of that unpleasant thing sitting on your to-do list, and for me, it just grows and grows into this big, ugly monster, and can sit there for a while, many days or even weeks at a time growing, instead take it, nip it in the bud, and do it right away. Because then after you do it, you will also feel this sense of relief, that excitement, and oftentimes that excitement can motivate you into going into other projects. Now, the last strategy is to engage in the moment. Many of us, I've talked about distractions in the previous slide, we let these distractions come into us, whether it's distractions of the noise around us, of people coming to us, maybe it's even the distraction of sitting near an open window where we're watching a busy street or other people pass by. And we need to truly engage in the moment if we really want to focus on getting a task done. And maybe it's just engaging in that moment for 15 minutes or maybe 30. But the point is to close out those distractions. Maybe close the blinds, maybe put in noise canceling headphones, turning your phone to silent, turning off those email notifications. Whatever it takes to engage in that moment so you can get work done and be productive will help you in the long run. And so apply this. Select one or two of the strategies that I talked about to focus on over the next month. Skills can develop into habits when we practice them. They say it takes 21 days to build a habit though, so about a month. So pick just one strategy. It's really hard to do multiple things at once. If you can really hone in on one strategy, practice that for a month, make it a strong habit, then move on to another strategy if needed. So after we've talked today about focusing, and after this session of videos, you will be able to craft a strategic plan for managing your career in academic medicine. Thank you.